The rocket ship shot the man-made atmosphere of Mars, traveling at 50 million kilometers per hour. Traveling to the wasteland planet was Dr. Einstein, an anthropologist that wanted to go on an adventure and become the man of the year in 2500, and make history on the day, January 30th. He landed on the edge of an area with a fence in the shape of a rooster. He got off and looked at a black and white holographic photo of a woman and himself. Beside that glowed a picture of a man that looked as if he was the father of the family. He quickly headed out and set camp at a safe distance beside the ship, offloading the things from his ship, and turned on the invisibility shield to prevent the Earthlings from taking the ship and traveling to Mars. He went to his ship and hid it under soft sand, just laying on the floor enjoying the waves of water brushing through it. He camouflaged the text with the sand and took his brand new Brusher Breeze 5000 and Detector X4. Took one last look at his hologram and drove his Hover XZ8 to a cave nearby. Once there, he built a mining site at the opening of a cave. He got out his Brusher Breeze 5000, shaped an awful lot like a man opening his mouth, and started blowing into the ground. He then removed his Detector X4 and stuck it into the floor while hooking it to his Hover XZ8. Exactly 5 seconds after he hooked it on, the Detector X4 started to spin its brushes, brushing up all the sand under it. After 30 seconds, he pressed the button, and the Detector X4 came zooming up, hitting the Hover XZ8 with the strength of the hull. Then suddenly, an ear-shocking vibration shot out towards the ocean, and the ocean split apart in a flash, causing a rumbling sound of water regrouping with the rest of the water. That instant, a humongous dragon Campanium flew around as if never flown before. It was fun to watch at first, but then the dragon gave Bob a hungry glare and charged right at him. He ran into a hole he dug a few seconds ago without hesitation, and surprisingly found himself in a pitch-black base with what looked like 12 animals surrounding the room. Then all of a sudden, the eyes of the animals shot out laser-like beams that created a pentagon around Bob. Bob nearly fainted with the strong power inside pushing him up. Bob felt like he had the powers of the 12 mystical zodiacs that was forgotten by most and rejected by some. He flew out the hole like a dragon and confronted the humongous beast at once. He turned as small as a rat and grew teeth like a tiger, hopping in his mouth and biting it with all its might as the dragon flew up and down, attempting to shake Bob out of him, but the rabbit paws allowed him to hop around effortlessly. Then he flew around and shook left and right, emulating the snake zodiac to the roll to slide around, preventing shock. And when the dragon finally crash-landed out of fatigue, Bob rammed the dragon with the body of a ram and the power of a horse, which killed the dragon, finally. The moment he defeated the dragon, the 12 zodiacs left his body and back into the temple. Bob passed out for a few hours, and when he woke up, he was completely unaware of what happened and walked back to the cave. But when he saw his Hover XZ8, he knew what happened and drove to the dragon. Bob arrived shortly after he set off, taking his Hover XZ8 and hooked it onto the dragon and brought it onto the ship. He quickly went through the whole process because when he thought the dragon, he saw a massive Earthling village with blood all over it. He took most of his supplies and put it back on the ship just so he can leave first thing the next day. At the break of dawn, he heard enormous barking sounds getting louder and louder, so Bob quickly took all his stuff and headed for the rocket. He blasted off of Earth effortlessly and landed on Mars within 5 hours. When he landed on Mars, he offloaded all his stuff, and when he got to Dragon, the Martians thought of him as a hero. He made the front page of every newspaper the very next day. He also won the Man of the Year 2500, which was the best way to honor his family. But he left his Detector X4 behind, and it was found by the man who witnessed the whole scene.